Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly, presented by B&M Poles. Along with Cindy, I'm Lyle Stokes, and Doc is working trying to get in. He's having a little issues with his computer tonight, but we're going to continue on anyway. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We had a wonderful time in Alabama. It was a great tournament down there. The girls done really good. And before we're going to get into that later. But right now, all I'm going to say is I never seen 45 teams of women work so hard to do so good ever as each and every one of them did down there this weekend. They really put out an effort. If men would put out efforts like them women's did, there's no telling what kind of fish we'd see turned in tournaments. It was amazing to see them all do what they did, and we're extremely proud of them. In the meantime, we have Dave Swearingin in here. And how you doing, Dave?
Good, Doc. Or Lyle. Oh, it was a long weekend.
It was. You was in a tournament over the weekend up in Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah. Good turnout. 72 boats, something like
72 boats is very good turnout for Lake of the Ozarks. And Alex always does a great job. Very happy that he had a big turnout. And we was glad to see some pretty nice fish caught up there.
Yeah, I didn't stick around for the weigh-in because we didn't have a great day.
Well, that happens sometimes. Happens sometimes. You know, Dave, a few weeks ago, I got a message from a viewer of ours that wanted to know if we could do a show strictly about boat insurance. He had questions of whether you had to have it, whether you need it, whether you should have it, and a few things like that. And I said, you know what? I know the guy for the job, and I called you up and you agreed to do this show. And you're actually at your office right now, but it's really a neat deal that our people that watch the show are as informative and wanting to know answers to things such as important as boat insurance. And I know that everybody doesn't carry boat insurance. We always do, always have. And I think it's something that people need. If they've got questions, this is the perfect time to get them answered. You know,
Yeah.
Something wrong, we can find out what they do and don't need. And why don't you tell us about your agency?
Well, you can check me out at Missouri. Dave Swearingin, Missouri Farm Bureau is a Facebook page. And I also have a business page at mofbinsurance.com, and I just put in my name. As far as the boat insurance, I am licensed in Missouri, so what I'm telling you is based on Missouri, and then Progressive that I sell a lot of is a national company. Mm-hmm. So I'll be answering questions based on that and what we can do here in Missouri.
Okay.
But it's pretty general. It's most companies are the same.
Well, from my perspective, and this is just me speaking, I'm not an insurance agent or affiliated with any insurance agency, but boat insurance is like anything else. You kind of got to have it. I don't believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that you have to have it in the state of Missouri. But if you have anything worth having, or you value your life or the people that's on your boat or your possessions that's in the boat, it's kind of silly not to have it.
Well, these boats are getting about expensive as pickups anymore. You better have some boat insurance. Unless you don't need money. I mean, if you're rich, that's fine.
I guess it is. I don't have that option, but I've sank a boat once. We had one that the plug went bad in while it was in there, and it turned over. It was a boat that I had bought. It was a used boat. It turned over in the lake. Tested it out because it had an internal screw-in type plug, and it deteriorated. Of course, there's no way to see it, and we was just testing the motor out, and it filled up with water. And of course, just got it, hadn't had a chance to do anything with it, didn't even know if the thing had run or not, and I lost everything that was in the boat and the boat. Although we salvaged the boat, got it out of the water and everything, but you have no recourse without insurance. And from that point on, we've never, ever, this was years and years ago, we've never been without it. Our boat's sitting in the backyard right now, hadn't been run since last year, and it's been had insurance on it the entire time. You don't know if a tree limb or something's going to fall on it and crash it and break a bunch of stuff. And let's face it, it doesn't matter if it's a windshield or damage on the side of the boat or whatever it is. It's going to cost you a bunch of bucks to get it fixed.
Yeah. Well, one thing I advocate is an agent. And you can go buy boat insurance online. You don't need an agent, but you have nobody to advocate for you in the time of when you have a claim.
That's right.
So I mean, you're dealing with a computer. You can deal with the person that's advocating for you.
That's
So
right.
I mean, Justin Thornton can probably tell you we went through a battle on his, but in the end, he got paid for his boat, total loss. It was a process, but we got through it.
Right. And I want to deal, and I'm dealing with insurance or anything like that. I want to deal with somebody that I can talk to, physically see if I have to go visit with them. You know, if you was in my area and I was getting insurance from you, I could call you on the phone. I say, hey, Dave, what about this or that? Or do we need to raise this or that or whatever, and get it done. And you don't have to worry about that because I can't imagine a computer generated company calling you up or send you a message say, hey, you don't have enough liability or you don't have enough whatever it is, where you're in the business. You also are a fisherman. You fish a lot, and you know what people's stuff is worth and what they should have on it, cover contents and different things.
Well, one of the things that some people always probably ask is, how do I list my depth funders and my trolling motor? And most companies, and Progressive's one of them, consider that as part of the boat, permanently attached equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So they have other, you can add miscellaneous equipment and so forth, and a couple other options that they have for your fishing poles and your life jackets and your other miscellaneous stuff. But your graphs and stuff like that, or probably even your talons. So when you're putting that boat value down, when you're writing that policy, you need to add that value to your boat, or when it comes time for total loss, you're going to come up short.
Yeah, I agree. James Stewart, I hope that answers your question. Should have insurance on all your fishing equipment. Yes, and that is added on. Correct, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the computer won't help you with that, but if you talk to an agent, they can guide you through that.
Right, and they will know the difference and say, hey, do you have your contents covered, which is your fishing equipment, your sinkers and hooks and fishing rods and all that stuff, and do you have your add-on talons? Do you have your Humminbirds or Lowrance or Garmin or whatever it is? How many of them do you have? Do you have enough coverage to cover all of those? Because Dave, as you and I know, this electronic stuff is as expensive as anything in our sport, and we really need to have that stuff covered if something happens to it, whether it be struck by lightning or you drop it in the water when you're taking it on off your boat, or whether somebody steals it. I mean,
or if you hit some rocks down there at Wheeler or one of the tournaments, you have to get new lower units.
I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, that might have happened to you.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that prop. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Did that end up bending your shaft that time?
It did. And Progressive,
Yeah.
Progressive. I, as my own agent, had to fight with Progressive just a little bit, but I advocated. And I got a brand new lower unit out of it.
Well, that's great. Mickey Holland says trolling motor gets stolen and it's not covered, but you can buy an ad for that trolling motor.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and that's where a good agent will come in and say, hey, you got a $2,500 or $3,000 Minn Kota or whatever the brand might be on your boat. You don't have it covered. Would you like me to add that? And use normally, from what I understand, it's just a few dollars more to add that stuff.
Yeah. And I saw a question on there about trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And liability, when people talk about trailers, liability extends from the pulling vehicle. Okay, but that covers liability to others. You can't draw your own liability. So if you hit somebody or something, there's no money there to fix your trailer, fix your boat, or whatever. So and as far as covering the boat, I know on Progressive and with Farm Bureau, it's listed separate. It asks you if you want to cover the trailer, and it asks you a value for the trailer, make, model, serial number, all that stuff. So that's just normal insurance. On the Farm Bureau policy, I would ask you for all the boat information. It'd be listed separate, trailer information, and then the motor itself.
Right.
we'd have to separate those values out.
Yeah, Mickey Holland would like to know if homeowners covers anything if it's sitting at the house.
Well, it's at the house. You have your homeowners coverage. If you have that location listed, your contents from your home should extend. But with Missouri Farm Bureau and your homeowners policy, you get 10% of your contents away from premise. So, for instance, when I got back from Iraq, I had $7,000 worth of equipment in my truck got stolen out of the hotel in St. Joe.
Oh, wow.
My contents off of my home, say $100,000. I have $10,000 of contents away from premise to cover that stuff out of my pickup, minus deductible, of course. So most homeowners the same way. You get 10% or 15% away from premise.
I see. Okay, good. Good. I hope that answered that question. If you guys have questions for Dave, now is the time to get them in there while we have him on here.
I'm trying to watch them, but I can't catch them all.
Yeah, that's the way with us. We can never catch them all. But boat insurance is a necessary evil, just like car insurance is. You should always have it. If something goes wrong, we got into a massive rainstorm coming back through Memphis the other night. Probably one of the worst amounts of rain that I've ever seen. And I was, we wasn't pulling a boat, but the fact that we could have had problems had we been pulling a boat in that kind of rain made it something that I just won't take the risk without it anymore. Get you?
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, you don't have to go crazy on your liability. It's because it's liability to others on your boat. And I mean, most of the guys we fish with pretty safe. Maybe a few launches, there might be some craziness, but right. Other than that, most of us are pretty safe. Now the tournaments, can't drink during tournaments, so that's not an issue. So,
what are the usual liability limits?
Well, what they suggest is you protect yourself with at least your net worth, but I don't do that high on boats, but probably a 100, 300, 100. And what that means, that first 100 means that's the most they're going to pay out to any one person for an accident. Mm-hmm. That middle number, 300, means the most they're going to pay out for any one accident is 300. Mm-hmm. That last number is the most they're going to pay out for property damage.
Okay.
You could probably reduce that on most boats to 50, 150. But, if you have an at-fault accident and you kill somebody, can you put a price on it?
No.
So.
No.
That's just between you and your agent and however you set it up. But I will not sell a cheap policy to get business. I just don't operate that way.
Well, see, that's the deal with a quality agent. Now, I have another question here, or a couple more. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, once the insurance money runs out, say you have an accident and someone sues you, once that money is used up, if you don't have enough, then they come after you personally. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. So you want to have enough to keep that from happening.
You basically have a contract with the insurance company, and when they've spent their limits, it's on you.
Yeah. Yeah. John would like to know. John would like to know.
Comment about declining deductibles there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
And most companies do that. It's reducing or declining. So each year you don't have a claim, it takes $100 off your deductible.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. John would like to know what the average cost per month on insurance for a boat is.
Well, I'm getting ready to cancel mine because I sold my boat, but mine was I had it insured for $45,000. I think it was $384 a year. So I don't know what that is a month. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's not. But boat insurance is relatively cheap for what you're getting, in my opinion.
For most companies, it's a secondary. That's not where they make their bread and butter.
Right. Exactly.
That's $32 a month. There's what it says.
Yeah. Would you say that the 100, 300, 100 would be like the minimum or the maximum to look at?
On autos and boats, I'll go 50, 150 for a minimum. If I go under that, I make somebody sign something saying I told them it wasn't very good coverage.
Yeah.
That's just protecting me. Carl
Will says he increased his policy liability from $30,000 to $100,000, and his premium only went up $2.59 a month. That's pretty cheap for peace of mind. That's very reasonable.
Yeah, the liability itself is cheap. It's when you get into the comp and the collision, the full coverage part That's
Right.
where you get more money.
Exactly.
Liability is fairly cheap.
Yeah, it's nobody wants to use it. I've always looked at insurance like it. You're betting that you're going to have problems. The insurance company's betting you're not.
Yeah.
And you hope you win. Actually,
If the loss ratio on boat insurance was bad, it'd be a lot higher to insure.
that's exactly right.
So
That is 100% correct. Your buddy Rob Gregg says Dave is boatless, but he'll take him fishing for 150 a month.
well, I may take him up on that for a little while.
Now, that doesn't seem quite fair to me. I think you pulled him around a time or two in your boat.
Well, what is that? Filling the boat up a couple times and you're good.
Yeah.
We're gonna go fishing. I'm gonna make him take me every weekend, so I'm gonna be ahead in the deal.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Black Shad Cat says he pays $191 a year, about 30 a month for full coverage. To me, again, that's for peace of mind. That's very reasonable. Your boat's taken care of, the liability's taken care of, your contents and stuff is. That's really good. Rob was just in here, Dave, and not to get off the insurance subject, but we don't have any questions right now. But you and Rob had some really cool live feeds over the winter when you guys was out ice fishing.
That was
Yep.
me when I was spinning in circles.
Yeah, it was a blast. Doc and I ain't neither one of us going to get out to do any ice fishing, but you and Rob had some great times, and you all fished down at Winter Blues, and we stayed in cabins beside each other and had a great time down there. But I thoroughly enjoyed your videos that Rob and you and several of you other guys was out catching crappie and bluegill and stuff on those ponds. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think his son and his uncle was with us, and it was actually 2 winters ago, but it was a good time.
Oh, we're late, Cindy.
Yes, I'm back here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're late. Dave, would you give me a number between 1 and 5?
Let's go with 3.
3 it is. 1. I miss Doc not being in here to tell me it's time to go. 2.
I can't believe they didn't tell you on the chat.
Yeah, usually they do. And the winner this time is Junior Proctor. And let's see what we can do for Junior, Cindy. Hey, Stacy Gaston, Cliff Miller, Mickey Holland, Bill, Sonny Parker, Michael Pence, a bunch of guys in here tonight. Easy sinker slides. If you will contact me after the show and send me your shipping address, Junior, because I may still have it, but better send it to me anyhow. I will get you out some easy sinker slides. Thank you so much for playing the Rig Rat Prize Wheel game and watching Catfish Weekly. We appreciate it so much. And of course, Glenn, one of the greatest sponsors we've ever had on Catfish Weekly, donates so much stuff, and not just to us, but to a lot of other people in the tournament. And we really appreciate him for everything that he does for our sport. Today is JR's birthday. Awesome.
Really I saw a question on there about horsepower, and there is a question on the application on horsepower from Progressive. I've never went over 70, so I don't know if you're faster than that. I don't know what happens if I put that in there. So I don't know how to answer it.
Well, the question they ask is it how fast you go or how about horsepower?
Well, it asks about horsepower. Yeah, it does ask about horsepower. It also asks a speed question.
Wow.
I've never had an issue with horsepower. I mean, I put 300s in there, 350s in there.
Yeah.
Inboards. So.
Right. Yeah. So that's you don't have to worry about that. But I didn't know. I don't believe in. I've never been asked because we've had our policies for a long time.
Oh yeah, we have.
Nobody asked us about speed issues, but I'm probably not going to do too many 70-mile-an-hour trips on the water anymore.
I know we ain't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a question.
That these days. Not that I wouldn't do it if I had to and I had the capability, but probably not.
I saw one comment in there about endorsements where they, trip interruption and the Progressive got lots of bells and whistles with their policy where you can add all kinds of. They give you free towing for 75 miles, nautical miles. I'm talking about on the water. Which really doesn't apply to the Missouri River where I'm at, but If you're on a lake or something, that could be in handy. They also have trip interruption. So if you're on your way to a catfish tournament somewhere and your trailer breaks down, blows a bearing or something, they'll pay to put you up in a hotel if I read it
Oh,
correctly.
wow.
Wow, what a deal that is. That's pretty neat.
Some of those endorsements are included with the policy and some of them are extra. You just have to work through that with an agent or the guys that do it online. It explains it right there in black and white. So
I never knew that. That's a heck of a deal. You'll have to check on
Yeah.
that because you never know. I know that Doc has had to change bearings on the side of the road. I haven't done that for a long time, but
here, let
Vinny,
me think this will work.
okay.
And then talk.
You have to talk too.
Can you see trip interrupt? No, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it was. I could
As
see
long
it.
as you keep talking,
You have to
it'll.
keep talking though for it to, the image to stay up there.
I can just read it.
Okay, that'd be better.
Trailer trip interruption coverage provided for mechanical breakdowns and sudden accidents involving the trailer, carrying the watercraft or a land motor vehicle towing the trailer. Mechanical breakdown or accident must occur more than 100 miles from the insured's primary residence. It's an optional coverage. The coverage provides daily maximum of $100 for lodging, $50 for alternate transportation, $50 for food, while the trailer or motor vehicle is being repaired. $500 maximum per occurrence. That's
Wow.
a pretty good endorsement.
Glenn would like to know if you wanted to insure a weekend trip, how much would that be?
That's tricky. Are you talking about where you're going to stay? Are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Justin's Fishing Fetish asked, can he send you a list of things to ask the agent and put it up on Facebook, maybe on our site or on Catfish Weekly, of things to ask an agent for insurance?
That's a pretty good idea, Dave. If you find time to do that, things for our viewers to ask their agent when they're going to buy insurance.
Okay.
Is that a possible?
That's possible. I'll make up something, and then I'm anybody that wants can contact me. I'll be glad to answer your questions. You know that.
And you guys, Dave can insure your stuff anywhere in the United States or anywhere in Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah, I can write life insurance anywhere in the country, but that's it. Everything else has to be state.
Okay. But yeah, and if you have questions, you can always contact him. He is on Facebook, and we'll get his phone number here in a little bit in case you get a chance to need to call him. But he has the information, and I promise you'll not find a finer guy in the catfishing industry doing insurance than Dave is. I've known him for a long time, and he's just a principled man, and he won't steer you wrong.
And if I can't beat the price and you got a better deal, I'll tell you.
And that's commendable. That's the way it's supposed to be. Some of them don't do that, but that's the way it should be.
Rob Gregg says when he repaired his boat, his insurance agent asked him about the maximum horsepower of the boat hull manufacturer. So
each one of those companies is a bit different, aren't they, Dave?
I don't have Rob yet. I'm working on that.
I would think so. My gosh. Justin, I don't think you're gonna get Dave to move to Ohio. He's pretty fond of that Missouri River.
Yeah. I need to get out there and fish the Ohio though. I haven't fished it yet.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Maybe this fall.
Carl Wells says, thank you for your service. For those that don't know, Dave is former military, and we appreciate everything that you've done for our country, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Jared Robertson said any fishing boat typically required a higher premium, or is it mostly based off value?
I would say value. Yeah. Mine was 45. I know I remember insuring a $70,000 boat, and it was quite a bit higher than mine.
Yeah.
So I'd say value.
I know, like I say, dollar for dollar, what you pay for what would happen if something happened, what you receive it's very, very minimal in my opinion. Janet Fox, welcome to Catfish Weekly. It's rare that you make an appearance on here because you usually don't have connection. Janet wants to know, does an adjuster come out to look at the damage if an accident occurs?
In every case that I've turned in, they have.
In every case that you've turned in, they have.
Yeah.
Again, that may depend on the company, correct?
Yeah, and they're Progressive is boat policy is a specific that's one of their big policies, like motorcycles.
Right.
Farm Bureau, boats and secondary. So they're still going to send an adjuster out to look, but they're not going to know the details like a progressive adjuster will.
Right.
They're pretty good at what they do.
Justin Fall said when they figure insurance, does that cover year round or do they figure that a few months a year, like some people fish only 4 months a year?
So what was the question again?
When they figure insurance, does that cover year round or only for the few months of a year that they're fishing, like 4 months of the year?
Most policies are annual. I mean, you can ask for a semi-annual policy, but most are annual policies. The premium that you now, some companies may let you take it off. Say you're going to put it in storage for the winter and you don't fish in the winter. Farmers do this too with their grain trucks. They'll drop it down to comp only, which is your fire and everything but collision and theft and stuff like that. And they'll put it in storage. And they bring it back out in the spring and put full coverage back on. You'll have to work with an agent on that. I don't know how each company works.
Right. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Man, talk about better late than never, I guess.
Dude, we're so glad to have you
Yes,
in here.
we
How's
are.
it going?
Man, I don't know what happened. I could not get in, so I had to reboot the computer 3 times.
Oh man. Well, we got you now, so you're stuck with us for the night.
Good deal.
Cliff Miller would like to know if you run into and put a bigger motor on than the manufacturer recommendation, can you still insure the boat?
Is this before you get the insurance or after?
That's a good question, Dave.
Well,
Before.
if you answer the questions honestly, when you're applying for the boat insurance, and they'll see that, they'll tell you whether they're going to insure it or not.
Okay.
If you put that motor on after and it's more than the manufacturer recommends, there's a chance they could deny your claim.
Right. So be honest up front, above board with your agent, and you have a better chance of getting taken care of, and they probably will tell you if they will insure it or not.
And if you change it, you better ask them.
Yeah. I would highly recommend that, wouldn't you, Dave? If you change the motor during the period of time when things are insured, to let your agent know that you've changed the motor.
Yeah, I mean, I would ask before I spent the money, but I would also annually do a review on all your insurance with your agent.
Right.
I mean, not just your boat insurance, but everything. You need to sit down with your agent, go over everything. Things change.
All American Catfishing Tournament says I'd like to have insurance on my entry fees when I go to tournaments. That way I could file a claim for getting skunked. Can you help Tim out with that?
If you can, I want help too.
Well, I'd be in business, wouldn't I, if I could do that?
Yes, you would. I'm thinking I should be
Just my own entry fees.
You know how much my goodness, everybody would want that.
Oh man, that's funny.
I keep donating every weekend.
I know. I do the same thing. Doc, have you got any questions for Dave?
No, but it's time to spin the wheel.
Well,
Good. Yep.
we knew that you would have us on track, and you know what? I have got the names up there. So give me another number. We'll try this again. Dave?
What did you say? I'm sorry, I was hacking.
That's our number 3, 1 to 5.
Let's try. How about 2?
2, 1, 2, and the winner is Hunter Theme, Theim. I hope I said that right.
All right.
Rachel Day is here. Hi, Rachel. It's probably one of the grandkids, isn't it, Doc?
Yeah, probably one of my grandsons.
Yep, that's awesome.
Or both of them.
Can both of them do it at the same time without getting into it, Doc?
No, they switch back and forth with the computer. One will jump in there and say, "Hey, this is Zach," and then the other one will jump in there and say, "Hey, this is Brandon."
Oh man, that's funny. Offshore tackle. Hunter, if you'll contact us after the show and send us a message, we'll happily get you something out from our great sponsor, Offshore Tackle, your number one source for planer boards.
Brandon.
It's Brandon,
It's
okay?
Brandon.
Yeah, it's Brandon.
And we will happily get something sent out to you just as quick as we can, probably tomorrow, by the way. And thank you so much for watching Catfish Weekly and playing the Rig Rat Prizewheel game. And we can't thank Offshore Tackle enough for everything they do, not only for us, but everyone in this. They give
Hey,
out.
I had a question about the flag in the background.
Yeah, I like that.
That's beautiful.
I had one of the ladies here in town was our part-time secretary. And she's an amazing quilter, and she made that for me.
Boy, that's awesome.
It's very nice, very nice.
And she wouldn't let me pay her for it, but it's pretty awesome.
I'm glad you liked it, Matthew. That's awesome. And Zach, here we go. All right, folks, now's the time. If you have questions for Dave, get them on in here. He is the boat insurance expert. That way we did not have to guess the correct answers. So now's the perfect time to get any insurance questions about your boat on here for him to take care of.
Now, I know when we fish for Fishing for Freedom, we're required to have what, $1 million? Is it $1 million?
No,
how much is that?
100,000, I believe.
100,000. Yeah,
100,000. Dave,
100,000.
are you going to Fishing for Freedom this year?
I'm gonna try to make it this year. Yeah.
You know, it's an honor to be able to go up there and take these guys out, and you being a boater, that would be kind of special. And I told Carl Wells the same thing. You know, when your guys are military, and you get to take out a fellow military guy, whether they're active duty or retired or whatever the case is, you guys have a lot in common, and to be able to take those guys out would just be really, really cool.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's, like that article they wrote. It's our peaceful place. We can let our guard down a little bit when we're out there fishing.
That's right. That's right. It's just it's really, really neat. I believe, is this our 7th or 8th year we've been?
7th, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I thought it was 8. She thinks it's 7. Doesn't matter. One of the greatest events in the sport of fishing nationwide. I don't care where you go, you can't beat it. And before we go on with anything, I'll get them a plug in here. As with every year that we go to Quincy and fish Fishing for Freedom, they need more boaters. The goal is to never leave a soldier on the bank. So if you are on the line about Fishing for Freedom, go to their website, check it out, watch some of the videos you had. I promise you it's the most rewarding thing you can ever do, to give back such a little amount to those who have given us so much, and they will take care of you very well. And any questions, you can message us. We're behind on messages from being gone for the last 3 or 4 days or 5, but we will get to them. Fishing for Freedom is extremely important to all of us, and it is an outstanding event.
Lyle, something's come up. I'm gonna have to get off here, but I sure appreciate it.
Dave, thank you so much for spending your time on the show with us. Maybe we can get you back on here again one of these days and talk fishing.
Sure. And anybody needs anything, it's Dave Swearingin, Missouri Farm Bureau on Facebook, or phone number 660-542-2475.
All righty. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Kristen LaRoe, thanks for looking out for us at the chick fight with our boaters breaking down in the middle of the lake. You know what? That's what you're supposed to do. But I will tell you, Kristen, sitting on the boat ramp with all you girls out there in the fishing, and the men that was actually on the ramp, all of us had women. Most all of us had women involved, and it was extremely hard for us to do, because we're not used to being second string, sitting there riding the pine while you ladies is fishing. It was really, really hard to do. It was fun, and I'm going to say something here that nobody has any idea that I was going to say, but I watched what went on at that boat ramp, and I got to give a shout out to Brian Folsom. Brian done everything he could possibly do to do things such as live feeds, answering phone calls and messages. And for those of you that don't know it, Brian had Melinda's phone. She was in a boat, and he was answering questions for people messaging him and calling him, and he was answering people for calling Melinda. He had her phone because she was fishing. These women were serious about this fishing. They took it extremely seriously. Every one of them did. And Brian went out of his way above and beyond to try to make as much stuff happen as it could. But we all know at that particular boat ramp, it is nearly impossible to get a signal out. We have found out since then, though, that there are amplifiers in different ways that we can try to make that better. But Brian busted it along with several others. It was a great time. And I'm not going to get into naming names because Eddie was there, and there was a bunch of guys at the boat ramp. We was all running around wondering what to do because the women was out there fishing, and it was hard.
And then the women takes care of the guys stuff. So.
Melinda, I would say I have to agree with you. You do. He was a special guy Saturday, and we appreciate that. And he really done a great job. But this is the first time, man. It's a big deal. So Doc, I sent Glenn a link. He should be trying to get in here and see if we can get him in the show with us. Need a new one, not working. Well, let's try something.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It took me so many times to get in.
Let me try something different. And I had a little trouble with checking Nikki out. That was why we was so late announcing that Nikki and Hannah would join Cindy on the show tonight, because they had some problems at home they had to take care of, and I had to check them out because of their internet. So we done that and made sure that everything worked on their end. So we got that all straightened out. And then when you told me you had trouble, I thought, wow, I can't believe it. We've done that. And here is Glenn.
There he is.
Got that all straightened out. And then when you he has his volume on, though. Wow, I can't believe it. We've done that. And here is Glenn.
Hey, guys.
There he is. Hey, Glenn.
You must have
Doc, it's great to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Slow hookup on the internet tonight because there's a big lag.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Glenn.
You must have, Doc, it's great to
It's
see you.
really bad.
Thank you, sir.
Slow hookup on the internet. Can you hear it, Doc?
Yeah, he needs to mute out his
When you mute out your volume on your where you're watching the show.
My volume? What are you? Me?
Yeah, we're getting a playback from you.
Where you're watching the show, there's a place you can click on to shut the volume off.
All right, hang on a second here.
Me? Yeah, we're getting a playback from you.
While we're waiting on Glenn to do
How's that?
I would like to tell everybody to keep your prayers open for Sandra Wells. She has some issues. I believe, if I remember reading it, I'm kind of running behind after being gone a little bit, but I believe that she had a heart attack the other day and has been in the hospital, and she's home now. So keep Sandra in your thoughts and prayers. Sandra is one of the ladies that watch our show every week, and we appreciate that so much. But right now, she needs to be concerned about taking care of herself and getting well, because we want her to continue to watching our show every week.
Carl said thanks for all the prayers and stuff too.
That's awesome, Carl. You're very welcome. I know all the viewers are glad to do it. She's such a fine lady. I know her personally and enjoy visiting with her so much. All right, let's see what you got, Glenn.
Can you hear me okay now? No
Yeah.
feedback?
Yeah.
That's much better.
Oh, good. I don't know why you're getting feedback. I'm using a headset.
Well, because
Well, it was coming back from your computer.
yep.
No, it's not. It's whatever.
This is phone.
It's better now.
Oh, now.
It's good. Thanks for the call today. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome, Doc. I was thrilled to hear what how you're feeling. It's fantastic. I mean, if people don't realize you've made one heck of a recovery, I'm thrilled to hear it.
Yeah, doing real good. He was real pleased with me today.
Doc,
Yeah.
I believe that he told me that he was tired of getting his information secondhand through me. He's just gonna call you.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. No, actually, I called Doc for two reasons. First of all, find out how he was doing. Secondly, Carl Wells had such a great idea. I had to tell Doc about it. I thought it'd make for a great tip of the week. I'm not going to say what it was,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
but I thought it was a great idea. Anyways, hey, guess what? We had a contest.
You did.
We did. We had 227 people enter the contest. We had a lot of fun with it. And before I get into that, I want to congratulate Cindy, Hannah, and Nikki. And I think Rachel had a little bit to do with it too, right?
She was our cheerleader.
She was
a cutie, that little one. But what a day on the water. Fantastic. There's only one problem.
What's that?
Well, we were trying to convince everybody for 2 weeks to vote for Team 11, and we got 35 people that voted for Team 11 out of 227 entries, and now I got 35 prizes I got to give out.
That's all right. That's all right. I thought sure you was going to start out by getting on David Funk.
Well, I kind of was leaving that, for kind of warm up to it. No. In all fairness to David Funk and I had kind of a side bet. First of all, he I got on him because he wanted to pick. He just came across one day and he says, "I wish all the teams good luck." And I told him, I says, "Oh, you got to pick a team to win. You can't be afraid of a bunch of girls." So he ended up picking Team 10, and obviously, against the mighty Team 11. We had bet T-shirts. So if I lost, I would send him a Rig Wrap T-shirt. If he lost, he would have to send me a King Kraken shirt. So he lived up to it. I got a King Kraken shirt coming. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But this will be the first of many, I'm sure.
I'm quite sure.
We also get some King Kraken clothing,
and
$50 a piece.
The girls get gift certificates to buy some King Kraken apparel, and that's awesome. Dave, we can't thank you enough. I know that Melinda and all involved, and Ann and all those are thrilled that you donated that stuff to their tournament, and we appreciate it. One of the things, Glenn, that people have to understand, these girls, they didn't come down to this tournament just to be pretty. They come to fish.
A lot of them are very pretty, though.
A lot of them are very pretty. I'm not going to say that. Don't mean it that way.
Say, did you see our pictures? When we come back, we look rough.
That's all right. But they were.
You had that outdoorsy look going, Cindy.
Yeah, we did.
There was not one team down there that didn't put forth a full effort. I've never been so proud of a group of women in my life that most of them I've only known online, did never met. Some of them I had, a lot of them I had. They all give it 100%. It showed that they did. They cared about what they looked like, how professionally they performed, and it wasn't just one; it was every team. The men could stand up and take notice of some of this stuff. You didn't hear them running around with a bunch of negative comments about this or that. Let's get on the water and see what we're made of, and that's what they done. And some of them done very well. Some of them didn't have nearly as well a good a day. But I have some notes before you give away your thing. We had a lady that come in, Louise Lanson and Pat Dennis fished the tournament together. These two women had never met each other. And they got on the boat with their driver. And again, that was the way the rules. Anybody that says that it wasn't done correctly, that's a bunch of crap, because that's the way the rules was written. You could or you didn't have to. So as long as you played by the rules, you was gold. This lady brought in a 40, I believe, was it 48-pound flathead?
I don't remember.
It was a giant.
What's her name?
Her name was Pat Dennis. I couldn't believe the excitement in this woman's when they brought it in. I was at the boat ramp, and she's just shaking all over. It was her personal best that she'd ever caught. I was as proud of her as anybody that I've ever been around that caught a fish.
43.72
pounds. It was a giant fish. Pat done an outstanding job. her and her partner, they work so good, high-fiving and knuckling, just like Doc and I in the boat, you know. It was amazing to see these ladies do. And then they put their fish out of the boat because they didn't want anything to happen to it. Another very commendable thing that happened. And it was a giant fish. So proud of them. They done well in the tournament. And to me, I told her right there on the dock, I said, that has got to make your trip, whether you win or not. She said, oh, absolutely. I was thrilled to visit with her about that, but she had to get back out and catch more fish. Another one that I would like to mention is Vicky Durham and Buffy Wolf. They bought a boat and it didn't work. So they put it in the shop and they got it out Thursday. They pulled it to Wheeler Lake on Friday. They get ready to put it in the water, and the water patrol there, nice guy, has a job to do. Whether he gets recognition for it or not, he has a job to do. He was very nice. He told these ladies that they couldn't put their boat in the water due to Alabama law. They did not have a kill switch on it. So they pull the boat and go to a shop to have it repaired and have a kill switch put on it. And the guy at the shop wouldn't put one on it due to something to do with the wiring on it. So they're dead in the water. They've come all this way. They bought a boat. They paid their entry fee. They get down here and they come down to the boat ramp and they're telling us about it. And she says, you know what? I'm going to go rent a boat. So she goes up to the marina and rents a boat. The next morning she comes down, unloads her boat, goes up to the marina, gets in that boat. So she had to have her trailers for pull through if they caught fish. And they fished that tournament. And that is pure determination. Pure determination. It was amazing. Amazing the desire that these ladies had. They wanted to be part of the first chick fight, and they made it happen. Another very touching moment for me, Diane Stone and her husband Terry and Cindy and I have become pretty good friends, and we never see each other except at fishing tournaments, but it's always hugs and laughs and giggles and all that stuff. And Terry had told me the day before that Diane's daughter was coming for weigh-in. Diane didn't know it. They hadn't seen each other in a few years. And while the tournament was going on, Terry come walking over with this little girl. Well, she's not a little girl. I don't know how old she is. I'm saying 20s. And introduced me, and that was Diane's daughter. And Diane didn't have a day on the water where she caught fish, but her day was made because her daughter was there, and she hadn't seen her in a few years. And those kind of stories you take away from that with memories that you'll never forget. And I know I won't. But the number one thing for me was Tammy Strout. Now, for those of you who don't know, Paul Strout died in an accident working on his boat where he caught on fire, and it was quite an ordeal a few years ago. And I seen Tammy at Winter Blues, and I felt so bad because I didn't recognize her. It had been a few years since I seen her, and she come up to me and said, hey, you remember me? I'm Tammy. And I did when we was down at the chick fight tournament. And I was so glad that she come to fish that tournament because her and Paul was very successful on Wheeler Lake. And they went out and they caught fish and had a great day. I don't even remember how they placed. I've got it here. Placed sixth place.
Yep.
With a 53.78 pounds on one fish. So
and they got
second place fish. Big fish. So they had a pretty good day regardless. But Tammy and I talked after the tournament or while weigh-in was going on. And it's really hard. Paul and I talked a lot on the phone. We messaged back and forth quite a bit. And Tammy and I had a little cry down there. And at the end, I felt better about it. She felt better about it. Tammy's going to start coming back into the catfishing world. And I'm so glad to see her interest being in there. Paul would have been so proud of this tournament and how it went off and all the things that happened down there. And I know that he's proud of Tammy for what she's doing. And it was awesome to see her. So we're really looking forward to that. And Tammy has donated an entry to next year's chick fight, and they drawed that out today. Melinda, if you would post that name up, because I don't have a chance right now to go back and look at it, of the winner for that, that would be great, and I'll announce it here. But thank you, Tammy, for that. I know the ladies that got that will be so pleased to have it, and it was awesome seeing you again. All right, I'm going to get off of my horse here, Glenn. This was about you announcing the winner to your stuff.
It's time to spin the rig wrap wheel, though.
Yeah, you better spin the wheel first because I don't want, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Well, somebody, Glenn, pick me out a number.
1.
I like that.
I know you do.
The winner is Tommy Wilson.
Congratulations, Tommy. What does Tommy win?
I don't know. Doc, I got something to tell you here in a minute. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
He'll forget it, though.
Whoa, twice in one night, offshore tackle. Tommy, send me your shipping information after the show, and I will be glad to ship you out some of the great products from Offshore Tackle. We can't thank them enough for everything they do to help the catfish industry. And thank you so much for watching Catfish Weekly and playing the Rig Wrap Prize Wheel. Okay.
That's great.
Take her away.
Take her away. Well, talking about her, I just want to congratulate all of the women, the ladies, the girls that fished the chick fight and made it the event that it was. It looked like it was a lot of fun. And I want to congratulate Melinda on all her efforts. Like anything, there's always going to be some issues, especially the first time out of the gate. But I got to tell you something. I'm involved with a lot of various events during the year. And Melinda picked up the phone yesterday on a Sunday and called me and said, okay, I know we made mistakes. Let me have it. I said, I'm not going to let you have it. Mistakes happen. You fix them, you go on, you make next year better. And she's planning on doing that. So I'll tell you what, for someone to call me on the day after a tournament, after everything that she's done, was very, very impressive. And what she has planned for next year already is also impressive. So hats off to Melinda. And I wish you all the best for next year. We're in it. We'll be there. We're going to support you 100%.
That's awesome. I know there's some other sponsors that have already announced that they will be back for next year.
Yes.
I was thoroughly impressed at the fact that she had called me twice yesterday, and each time she called me, I was on the phone, and my messages and everything are stacked up from being gone for 3 or 4 days. And people just have to understand, I get to them as quick as I can. But yeah. She actually had dropped a message to another way to get to me, and I called her back last night. And I don't believe that I've ever had a tournament director that ever, or anybody that has to do with the tournament, after one was over, call me up and do what Melinda did. That's really a neat deal. Again, that's something that maybe some of the guys ought to look into doing, because it was heartfelt, it was accepted well, and it was done with a very high active class. I was very impressed with that. So
yeah, it's unfortunate we didn't have the live feed and a few other things, but it'll all work out.
Dustin says
it'll all work out.
So she must have made her rounds, which that is a cool deal, Melinda.
Yes,
we all appreciate it, and your effort will not go unnoticed.
It hasn't gone unnoticed.
No, absolutely.
It has not gone unnoticed, not at all.
Not one.
So, anyways, let's talk about. So the contest was about the last 2 weeks. We went back and forth, had all sorts of fun. 35 people picked the winning team. 35 people. So I want to thank everybody, all 227 people, for participating. It was a lot of fun. And tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to pick the grand prize winner. Now, understand this. Everybody that picked Team 11 is going to get a prize. We're going to send you out something. But if you did pick Team 11, you have to send me an email with your name, your address, and your email address so that I can send this out to you. If I don't get it within the next week or two, you lose. I can't go back that far to check everything, but please let me know. I'm going to cross-check it, make sure that your claim is real. But for tonight, we're going to take the 35 names and we're going to pick that grand prize winner. What they're going to get is, first of all, they're going to get a Rig Wrap value pack. They're going to get, we've got all sorts of goodies here. They're going to get a lure locker 3. They're going to get a pack of easy sinker slides. They're going to get a threader tool. And if you haven't seen this, this is a pretty cool tool. It's got a knife sharpener on it. It's got all sorts of little great features.
I use it.
You use it all the time?
All the time.
Yeah, it's a neat tool. We've got a pair of ceramic cutters. You're going to love these if you use braid.
Hey, Glenn, those
Yes.
were handy on the boat because when Nikki was reeling in our last fish, the string on her hat got caught around in the reel and she couldn't reel no more. So I had to take those, which was around my neck, and cut the string so
Off her hat so she could finish reeling the fish in.
With what? The ceramic cutters?
Yes, sir.
I keep them around my neck on the lanyard.
Yeah, these saved what did Dieter say? It saved him like $15,000 in the hospital.
Wow.
So Dieter, if you're watching or listening, I'm still waiting for the check. Anyways, you're gonna get a couple of reds, and you're going to get the new Rig Wrap Super Scale. That's everything in the grand prize package. So it's quite a bit of stuff.
That's a great prize package, Glenn. I know.
Yep.
They'll be very thrilled with it.
I hope so. And if you're not, you can send it back. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll take it. Send it to me.
No, I told them they can send it back to me. You don't need any more stuff.
I do, as a matter of fact.
All right. So,
enough.
Lyle, I sent you over the 35 names.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to put those in random.org.
They are loaded up and ready to go.
They are loaded up and ready to go. So let's, in celebration of the chick fight and the 45 teams that are in it, let's pick. No, I'm not going to tell you 45.
That's what I was figuring.
How about
I figured no. Let's go with 3. Yes, in celebration of Cindy, Nikki, and Hannah.
2 and 3. The winner is Betty Johnson Kitchen.
Betty, congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations.
Is she in here? Is she around?
I don't know.
I don't see her in the chat.
Somebody get a hold of Betty. I need to get her information so I can send her this stuff.
He wants to know how to get a hold of him to send his email.
Oh, I'm sorry. Send it to info at rigwrap.com. And in the subject line, if you would please put in chick fight prize.
There you go. Congratulations, Betty. That's a heck of a prize. I know you'll enjoy those.
Bottom Feeders Fishing says I know her, so maybe he'll get a hold of her.
Please let her know. Was that Nick?
Yep. Nick is such a good guy. He's in here almost.
Oh yeah. No, Nick
Nick knows him.
Good. Nick, please give her my information. Have her contact me with her information so I can get this out.
Tim wants to add some reciprocator lights to the grand prize to help celebrate. Whisker sticks.
But I mean, you're going to have to get the information to send the stuff out.
Yeah, they'll have to contact him also and give him.
Have her send it out. But I mean, Tim, if you want, we've got another 34 prizes we got to give out. So if you want to throw in a whisker sticks to all those folks too, we greatly appreciate it.
Jason, you have no idea. It was such a great event, and the women had such a great time. Like I say, they didn't come down there just to go fishing. They come down there to win. Each team did. There was no slackers in that group. They all wanted to win, and it showed. And they put on a show. And all the guys was very proud of what happened.
Yeah. Now, who took second place? It was Rose Thompson, and what was Rose's partner?
Cy Pierce and Rose Thompson had 74.41 pounds on 2 fish. And that's about what they had on 5 fish at Lake of the Ozarks yesterday. So,
I was going to say, some of those weights with 2 fish could have kicked some serious butt in a 5-fish tournament.
Yeah, I got a feeling
this was a 5-fish tournament.
Yeah, it was, but
that's what I'm saying.
You give these ladies a couple years to get this thing pinned down on what they need to do, what they want to do, how they want to make it. And you get, I know that there's a whole bunch of them that next year they don't want a guy in the boat. They don't want all this animosity from these wannabes that out there saying, oh, this guy she had a girl in a boat or had a guy in a boat or whatever. They want to do it. They want to do it themselves. They know they can do it. It's not a matter of whether they could have done it this time or not. That's how the rules went. So you use rules to your advantage. But
can I address something, Lyle? Can I address something real quick?
Can.
I don't know who the SOB was that got into Jerry Ishcomer's boat, but I can tell you, if I ever find out who did that, I'm personally going to track you down and kick your butt.
That's sorry. And it wasn't, there was others. There was a couple.
That was absolutely terrible. I mean, I don't know if anybody heard, but somebody got into Jerry Ishcomer's boat and took both of his hummingbirds and put on a factory default, pulled the paperwork out of his boat, and ripped the registration off his hull.
Very, very poor sportsmanship in that. They also done some stuff to Matt Jones's boat and one other boat, but I can't remember the name on that. I'm sure somebody in chat will let us know who that was, but very poor sportsman that would do something like that to anybody, but to Jerry, it was very bad. And Matt and whoever the other was Michelle.
You can't find a better stand-up guy with more principle
That's
and
right.
honesty than Jerry Ishcomer. And I don't know the man personally, but I'll tell you what, everything I've heard about him and in the few conversations I've had with him point in that direction. So that's horrible.
One of the things that I'll mention about this is Matt and Michelle had somebody, I understand, mess with the ladder where they got on the trailer into the boat. Michelle just had some operation work done on a foot of hers. That's, oh my God, I just can't tell you how bad that is when a lady's wanting to fish as bad as she wanted to fish that tournament, and to do something with the way that she gets in the boat. Unbelievable that people would stoop to that level. Just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because I'll tell you what, ever since I heard about that, I've been absolutely just burned up about it. So,
and Jerry has the best attitude about that. I had the privilege of getting in the boat Thursday with the girls, and it was evident about 5 minutes into this that they did not need me or Jerry, either one. They had it under control. You didn't touch their rods. You didn't cut their bait. You didn't touch their hooks. You didn't tie their leaders. And you sure didn't cast their rods, because I ain't sure I could cast as good as any of the three of them. And I know damn well I can't cast like Hannah does. You talk about somebody can zing some bait in the water. Now that girl can haul off and let the big dog eat.
Well, that's obvious. I mean, it's they want it. I mean, and not to, I don't want to take anything away from Nikki or Cindy, because they're both very accomplished as well. As a matter of fact, Cindy, do you have your crown?
This.
She does, as a matter of fact, and we're going to have a couple other ladies on here in just a little bit. Look what Dustin Fall did for these.
Look at that. She hasn't taken that off yet, has she, Lyle?
Yeah, she has. Yeah, she's not really a PR person, but she looks good with it on. But Dustin built these trophies for them girls.
I told Dustin he did a great job with those.
He did.
Absolutely fantastic.
They're awesome. We're so proud that Dustin stepped up and got these done for these ladies. They look absolutely fabulous. And Cindy may take that everywhere she goes for the next 6 months.
I doubt it.
I hope she takes all this stuff up and shows her family. Her family is having a birthday party for her mother this weekend, who is 86. And they know that we go all over the place fishing, and they know we hit a lick once in a while and do good at some of the tournaments, but they ain't never seen nothing like what their sister and daughter done this time.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Thrilled for I'm thrilled for Cindy, Hannah, and Nikki for sure. But everybody else, I'm thrilled that everybody had fun. Everybody got along. I didn't hear about anybody getting run over.
Nope.
Fantastic.
It really
and I look forward to next year.
While you're still on here, Glenn, I would like to go through the list of the top 10 people that placed in this. And I don't mean to take away from the other 35 teams, because I'm proud of each and every one of these people that went in there. There was some of the nicest, hardest working women that I've ever seen in the tournament. Lynn Lang would have been proud to see these girls because they went at it just like she always did.
Well, I'll tell you what, before you get started with that, I'm going to get off of here because I think you're going to move on to something else. You don't need to hear from me. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to be on again.
Absolutely.
I want to thank everybody again for their wonderful participation in the contest. Look for more contests. We're going to be doing more. Hey, look for our 360 live view camera coming up to the Cabela's Bass Pro King Cat Trail. I got the camera finished up. It's going to be shipped out this week to Jeremy, and that's going to be pretty cool. So that's it. I'm out. Thank you very much. Doc, great to see you. Cindy,
Thanks, Glenn.
congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, Glenn.
Everybody else, thank you very much for your support.
All righty.
Thanks so much.
All right, Doc. I'm going to go over the top 10 in this tournament. Get this closed up. First place was Nikki, Cindy, and Hannah with 97.92 pounds on 2 fish. Pretty good weight. Second place was Cy Pierce and Rose Thompson, 74.41 pounds on 2 fish. You didn't have to catch 5 fish, Doc. You just have to catch fish.
Yeah. And it's tough. It's tough to catch fish down there when there's no current.
That's exactly right. Crystal Scott, Ashley Mooney, 72.58. Them are close. That's third place. Fourth place was Jolene Huffman and Catherine McTaggart, 9.6 pounds on 3 fish. In fifth place, Tyra Williams, Katie
Jerry,
3.6.
turn yours down, huh?
Fish. Sixth place was Tammy Strouth and Nina Johnson, 53.78 pounds on 1 fish, giant fish. Jennifer Thrall and Cassidy Thrall, I know I'm messing that up, 52.21 pounds on 3 fish. Joanne Renee and Amy Starnes, 45.4 pounds on 2 fish. Them weights are really close, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Was Louise Lawson and Pat Dennis, 43.72 pounds on
Mm-hmm.
10th place was Chanel Klein and Caitlin Klein, 34.65 pounds on 1 fish. Big fish, Tyra Williams, 49 pounds. And second big fish was Tammy Strouth and Nina Johnson.
All of that was saying was junior angler. When there's right here.
53.78 pounds on 5 fish. For the top 10, that's very respectable. In fact, it's pretty good. And now we have Nikki and Hannah. Welcome to Catfish Weekly.
Let's go over.
Hey guys,
Hi.
How you doing?
we're doing good. How are you?
We're doing wonderful. You guys look great. I know you're tired. You had a long trip as we did, but man, congratulations to all 3 of you. What a great tournament you had.
Thank you. It was awesome.
It was teamwork.
Yes. Oh, that couldn't have done it without teamwork.
I do want Cindy to mention a little something about the fish on the back deck.
Oh Lord.
All right.
I think the viewers would enjoy this story too well.
Oh, I'm sure.
10 minutes till 3. Nikki gets the fish. She's reeling it in. She's got my big floppy hat and it's got a long string. Well, she gets that wrapped around the reel. So here I've got to cut it with the ceramic scissors. And she gets it. And then we finally get it in the boat. Take it out. She holds it and it flops off. Goes to the deck and we think it's going to flop out. Nikki takes it, body slams that sucker. It was awesome.
Pins it to the black deck.
I wasn't losing that puppy.
So we opened it, she slides it in, and we got it.
I wish Jerry had some of that on video. I would have really enjoyed seeing that. I believe everyone would have enjoyed seeing that.
I'm thankful he didn't.
No, that was awesome, though.
Now, Hannah, am I correct to assume that realistically you guys only got the 2 bites all day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got 2 bites, you caught 2 fish, and the right fish. And Hannah, who caught the fish?
She did.
Yes.
Right. Nikki caught both fish,
Yep.
but you guys
We
was,
all caught them.
That's
you was baiting hooks together, you was cutting
Cutting
bait
bait.
together, you was
That's it.
you done it all as a professional job.
and we told Jerry
We
to
had a good system going.
I know in my mind, Jerry had the hardest job on the boat.
Yeah, that would be.
What do you think, Doc? To not be
Yeah,
able to help or
just
say anything or even encourage them.
yeah, just sit there and do nothing but watch.
That's
Oh yeah.
I gotta hand it to him, man. I'm not. It'd been hard to do. You guys would have probably gagged me and tied me up somewhere, but outstanding job. There was some great fish. You guys want a whole bunch of other stuff, and I think Cindy has a list
Yes,
here,
I
and you
do.
guys may have a list too. Things you want to talk about.
Well, I Ann and Melinda for putting on Chick Fight, and all the other women that came, because without them, there wouldn't have been the Chick Fight.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody probably did just as hard as we did.
Of course.
We just got
did.
those 2 fish.
They worked. Everybody.
That's it.
They worked extremely hard. I was so proud to know each and every one of them.
Want to thank D&T Customs for the trophy. Hooker's Terminal Tackle for the $100 for using their hook. King Kraken Clothing for 2 $50 gift certificates. Sea Arc because we fished out of Nikki and them's boat. Offshore Tackle. Yammer and Sons. We got 50. Was it 50 skipjack?
It was
Yes, ma'am.
50.
Yep.
And Doc, we want to thank you for your free entry that you donated in memory of Lynn.
And Nikki won that.
And
at the
Nikki
conference.
won that at the conference, and
Yep.
and I know she was looking out for us, and
Yes.
no doubt. Go ahead, you two. Your turn.
No. We just we want to thank all of our sponsors, and first we want to thank Glenn, for having confidence in us and asking us, to be team rig rep, for this. I thought that was awesome.
Mhm.
And he gave us and everybody that voted for us. I know it was all in good fun, but there was people that backed us, and I thought that was awesome. We definitely want to thank D&T Customs for this awesome thing right here.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dustin.
You-
He's one of our sponsors. We want to thank Dale's Tackle, of course, and we want to thank Bloodline Drift Weights. He's one of our sponsors, and Ann with Ann's Rod Socks. And we want to thank a new one that we picked up this weekend, which was River Rat Reel Repair. That's a tongue twister.
Jared is such a great
Yes,
guy.
he is.
He really
Yeah.
Well,
But
go ahead.
obviously, Ann and Melinda and everybody that worked on the tournament to make it such a success. Jody for bringing the scales and doing everything that he did. Like I said, it took everybody to make it happen. This isn't something that you just throw together by chance and it turns out.
No.
I know it would have to be hard work. So thanks to everyone that made it happen. It was awesome.
It is. Carl Wells, not Carl Wells, let me see. James Dockery wants to know, will you 3 be a team together next year?
We'll just have to wait and see next year.
That's right. That's right. And I want to thank the people that sponsors Lyle and I and Precision Water and Power Sports, Laren, Haslag, Offshore Tackle, Driftmaster Rod Holders, Shad Shack, D&T Customs, and I'm forgetting someone in
I don't know.
Black Horse Rods and Catfish Weekly.
Regardless.
That's right. But this was a very awesome tournament. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Yes, we
the
did.
people I had in the boat with. I was in the boat with. Couldn't ask for any better people. And Jerry was awesome, and little Rachel.
You had to.
Oh, Lord.
And I did color on the boat. I had to color.
Yes.
She wasn't gonna let it go until I colored.
Remember you made a deal with her after we caught our 2 overs.
That
But
I
she was
told
going to color. We didn't think we was going to get them. And after our first one, she said, now, Rachel, remember, we got to get one more fish. But it took it the last 10 minutes to get it. So,
Yes, it did.
Well, you know, I'm so thrilled with what you guys put together down there. Like I said, I was proud of every team down there. They put forth 110% effort. There wasn't no partying at the motels like some of the guys do, and I've been involved with that over the years. Sit out there and be up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go lay down. You know, you got to get up at 3 or 4 to go
wow.
to launch your boat. You know, I don't do that much anymore, but there was none of that. These women went to bed, they got up with their game face on, they come to play, and they put on a show that it'll be a long time for any of us guys forget it, I promise you.
Yep, I think
Well, it was awesome.
we put bait on, I think, fresh bait every, 30 to 45 minutes, girls?
Yes.
At least.
We had
yes.
it timed.
It never went to an hour, ever.
Well, where we was, it was almost, 10 degrees warmer?
Like I said, it was really, really, I think, I don't know, 64 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, but it was so nice. Like I said, you know, the temperature was crazy because I mean, it just heated up overnight, you know.
Right, and that's great. You know, I'm really thrilled that there wasn't a big front move through the night before the tournament, like happened so many times, and then
Yeah.
looking for gone, ain't the doc?
Yeah, man.
How many times that happened to us?
It seems like every weekend that there's a tournament.
Yeah, it does.
I think I forgot. Did we get a couple real repairs from someone I give to you all or something? I forgot who it
Yeah,
was.
you got one and I got one, but I don't have it right in front of me. But
Yeah.
yes, we did get the real repair.
And did they the ones that give the t-shirts also?
Yes.
Melinda, help us out with
Think
that
so.
so we can get these guys mentioned, because I can't. I've got their card out in the truck, but
I don't even know where
afraid I
my.
don't have it.
And then David Funk with the clothing also.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
King
King
Crack.
Crack.
Yeah, and then Hooker's Terminal Tackle with the $100 that we got.
That's right.
Their pipeline is 5 real
Yes.
cleanings and shirts.
That's all.
That was
Yep.
it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, they was really nice guys, and they had a reel down there that they had on display, Doc. It was an old 6500 that they completely redid. They wouldn't sell it. You know how me and reels are. I tried really hard, but they wouldn't. It was a customers, and they couldn't sell it.
Oh,
You know, there I was drooling over something that was pretty cool.
Now, Hannah, you got youth. A big. What did you get for youth?
I got B&M Pole from
Them.
Catfish Weekly.
Yeah, for the highest youth placing.
Yes.
Yep.
And thank you for that.
Doc and I are so glad to help you. It wouldn't matter who won it. We'd be
That's
glad
right.
that they
That's
won
it.
But I'm glad that Hannah did. And there was so many women team down there that you could talk about. And the more I sit here, the more of them I think about that was really good. But Cam Mayo and his family, his wife and 2 little girls. And I don't know these little girls' age, but they're pretty small. And she told me in the parking lot as they was working on the live well the night before the tournament that he was going to sit back in the back of that boat, and he opened his mouth. He was in trouble. And her and them girls was going to catch them fish, and I'm sure that that's what happened. But they
Oh,
were
yes.
carrying on, and those are the cutest little girls. And they come through the line going to launch boats. They ready to go. I said, "Are you ready to get your fish?" He said, "Yes, sir, I am, boy." They was ready to rock and roll, and every woman's team down there was no question. They had their heart set on doing the very best that they could do.
There was
That's
a
right.
mother and daughter team, and she reeled in the fish. And when she got it in, I think she started crying, and the mother started crying because she was able to do it. Melinda, you need to make that public so they can see some of that, because these guys would really see how I mean, we just, it was an awesome tournament for us ladies.
Yes, it was.
It was, and like I say, I'm proud of you guys for winning, but I would have been just about as proud if any one of the teams that was there to won, because everyone worked hard. They give 110%. They come to, like I say, they come to play, and they was serious about it. It wasn't just a show. They all come
Right.
to win.
That's right.
And to win it, you had to earn it. That's just the way
That's
it was.
right. Because it was
That's
tough.
right. It was awesome.
Yes, it was a tough fight.
You have
Yeah.
to leave in the comments.
So I got a little bit of input.
All right.
I talked to Lisa Hill yesterday, I think it was, and she was Noah helped her out so much with her boat. He showed her how to link her Humminbird to her trolling motor. And I can't remember what she called him. She had a name for him, and I can't remember what it was. But the other thing that was kind of interesting is she unleashed the beast. She babies that motor, and Noah taught her how to open her up. Now I guess she opened it up and had it hauling as fast as it would go. So proud of Noah for doing that. That helped her out a lot. So
Well, he was glad to do it. He's all for opening a motor up. That's for sure.
I think that's a guy thing. It may be a woman thing.
I think so. I think so.
I've seen some of them girls go up and down that cove as they was launching boats, and they wouldn't let no grass grow under them props.
Yeah, they was like I said, they was doing good. That's for sure.
Oh, Candace, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was your dad, but you guys was so awesome down there. We really enjoyed visiting with you guys, and I had a great deal of fun just visiting with the ladies as they went through the lines, or whether they was weighing or going to launch their boats or whatever. And another team that we need to talk about is Dawn and Brandy, and I'm not sure what their other
I'll tell you.
partner's name
Where'd you
is.
get the papers?
It's underneath there.
I'll tell you here.
They got launched out got their boat in the water, and none of their electronics worked. They had 2 depth finders, and neither one of them worked. And there were several of us that tried to help them with that, to figure out what was the matter with it. Couldn't make it work. They take off. They're gone. They're going blind into this tournament. And so many of us rely on our electronics to mark spots and to make sure we're in the right spot, or the right this or the right that. And they went out and they competed without that, and didn't tear anything up or have anything go wrong. They got back in, they backed the trailer in and loaded their boat. And at the end of the day, they had a great time. And those ladies are just so full of energy and fun. I enjoy being around them so much, and they're a lot of fun.
I think it was her.
I did too.
That's right. It's Jody's daughter,
Daughter,
Brandy.
Brandy.
I couldn't remember her name, but kudos to them for how many women would have took off without any electronics and took that risk. I
You
mean,
probably wouldn't have let me.
well, I'm not saying I wouldn't have let you, but it's been hard pressed to do it. I'll tell you that.
And that's a big old boat too that they was handling.
Yes, it is. And they was down there the whole weekend. The only help they had was I moved them over about 6 inches on the front of their boat, so they hit the roller one time. And they
Wonder
Right.
Boy.
huh?
Thank you, Lisa. She called him Wonder Boy.
Hannah, pick me out a number. We're going to spin the rig wrap prize wheel.
2.
2. 1, 2. And this winner is
Kirby.
Joey Kirby.
Woo!
Joey,
Out of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Yep, he is from Owensboro, Kentucky, home of Monsters on the Ohio.
Yay, Joey.
You're right, Northeast Kansas fisherman. You are right. Mud Bum Supply Shack. Joey, if you'll contact the guys at Mud Bum Supply Shack and tell them that you won on Catfish Weekly's Rig Wrap Prize Wheel, they will hook you up with a gift certificate to their store. I know that you'll enjoy it. They got everything that you could ever imagine that you want. Great sponsor, longtime sponsor to our show. We appreciate everything they do for us. And if you've seen the Mud Bums on the Pursuit channel, check them out. They are a hoot. And Joey, thank you so much for watching Catfish Weekly.
And I want to also thank a lot of the sponsors for
To the event.
to the event.
Absolutely.
That
We don't
was
have
just-
a list of that.
No.
But there was, I believe Melinda
50?
said 50 some sponsors that sponsored this chick fight event. And
kudos to all of them.
absolutely.
Definitely.
It was outstanding. They had prizes for everyone and prizes left over.
Mhm.
I believe they went through the numbers once or twice at the
Yes, they did.
and everybody come away with something, and it was just, it was pretty
Yeah.
well done.
What was the Rod Sox company you're with?
Ann's original Rod Socks.
Because I think I got one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you won one of those.
And they're awesome.
They're very
That
nice.
makes getting your poles out and getting your poles in a whole lot easier.
Oh, it did.
No,
Definitely.
twice as fast.
Melinda, we still don't have everything unpacked yet. We don't have everything unpacked yet. And to be quite honest, Melinda, we left right after the tournament, and we drove all night and got home at 4 o'clock the next morning. And then our phone rang at 7:30.
Our son was calling.
Our son was calling to make sure we was all right. So if that gives you indication to how Sunday went for us,
No sleep.
no sleep. The phone never stopped ringing. And like I say, I have messages from last week that I haven't caught up with yet, and it'll be a few days. And that's what happens when you're gone to tournaments for 2 or 3 days. I'm sure Nikki and Hannah and Jerry and all of them have issues like that to going through. You guys had a big deal when you got home.
Yes, sir. We come home and I homeschool the kids, and I went over to our little schoolhouse that we have and just opened the door to check on things. And I had a tree through my roof. So yes, water on my computer and on my monitor and half of my book. So yeah, it was pretty big shock.
Well, that's why we buy insurance, and I know you have
Exactly.
to. And I hate it that it happened to you, but you know what? You won the chick fight.
Oh yeah. So hey.
Man, Hannah, you're about out of school, I understand.
I'm graduating this year.
So it's okay if you don't have to do any more homework, isn't it?
Right.
Oh, you guys are a great family. I'm so proud to be friends with you and Noah and Rachel and Jerry. You guys are some of the funnest people that I've ever been around, and I just think the world of you. We had a great time down there, and I know that Cindy enjoyed
Yes,
her
I
time
did.
on the boat.
Oh, we did too.
We very well.
You guys made a great team.
Well, one didn't,
Yes, we did.
what one didn't do, the other one was doing, and the other one was doing the other thing. So
That's it.
Hey, Doc, I want to tell you, Doc, I went out with them Thursday, and Jerry and I was in the back of the boat because we was working on trying to get his bird back online to where it was going to be, and we was talking about this and that, and you didn't have to do anything. They was doing it. They didn't want you baiting their hook. They didn't want you cutting the bait. They didn't want you touching nothing. Just get out of the way and let us take care of it. And that's what Jerry and I done. We let them do what they needed to do. And I was convinced there was no need for me in that boat.
Yeah, that's
They
awesome.
had it under control.
and I do make a pretty good net girl, don't I?
Oh,
do.
real good. Awesome, that girl.
I did a lot of practice.
She's had a lot of practice over the years netting, but
Yes.
she can net them with the best of them, and she can reel them in with the best of them.
Well, she sure did. I can tell you for sure.
I netted them this time.
Oh, yes.
We're very, I see Brandy Brooks is in here, man. We're glad to see you watching the show tonight, Brandy. But like I say, I couldn't have been any prouder of every team down there. They've all done an outstanding job.
Yes, they did.
Glad they come. I told Melinda today, this might be a stretch, but we set goals for everything we do, whether it be a fishing tournament or things in life in general or whatever. I think the goal for next year's chick fight tournament should be 100 women teams.
It'd be awesome to see it.
Good.
Can you imagine 100 teams of women down there telling all the guys to get out the way? I got it.
No, Lord.
But I told Melinda they could make 50 teams this year. They got close. They got 45.
45.
Really close.
That's a big number for the first time. And I think their goal should be 100 for next year. And if they get it, awesome. If they don't get it, you got to have goals or something
That's
to
right.
shoot for.
Got to start somewhere.
That's right. And so proud of all of the girls. They'd all done good jobs. And we had a great time with visiting with you guys, and be looking forward to it again.
We did as well.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for fishing with us. Thank you, Lyle, for bringing her and everything. Like I said, it was awesome time.
It was a great time. We
Yep.
enjoyed it so much.
Yes, I'm so glad you asked me because I wasn't sure I was going to and waited so long and jumped right in there.
Before we get going, Doc, have you got a tip of the night?
Yeah, and I've done this tip several times. I'm going to go ahead and do it again. After every tournament, back up your waypoints. Back up everything on those units. You never know when somebody's going to do something stupid.
That's exactly right. That's an awesome tip, Doc. And people should back those up, like you say, after every tournament or every body of water that they're going to go to. Again, that they just come from. If they're on fish, mark fish. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it only takes a few seconds because when I'm at a tournament, as soon as as I'm trying to sit there, maybe loading up the boat, I just punch it in and boom, I've got it backed up, bring it out, I'm good.
Ernie Brown made a very valid point. If a woman can use a switch, she can cast a pole. And if she can cut a pork chop, she can cut bait. If she can drive a car, she can drive a boat. So she's got it.
That's right.
I agree.
Gonna show them next year. This year's getting the boat on and off, and I know how to back. So
yeah,
look out.
I think it's a great idea. And to be quite honest, Doc, I've said this before. You and I have talked before. I think that everybody in the boat, when they become old enough to be able to take the test and be able to drive, everyone should know how to drive a boat in case something would happen and they get the other person or people in. Somebody, you can't always rely on the one person to do it. And Cindy's goal this year will be able to load, unload the boat, run herself. And we got the boat to do it. So that's what we're going to do.
Well, Nikki, you can load and unload and drive it, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, I do. Like I said, that's just I wouldn't have been real comfortable driving it, taking off and driving, but I load it and unload it, and I mean I've driven it obviously, but like I said, I was happy with him being with me because we're usually always together. So
yeah.
Randy, you got it down pat. You ain't got nothing.
Well, she does.
She loaded and unloaded that thing just like a champ. So.
Well, let's see her. There. Check it out. Woo!
Heck yeah. You got to talk so everybody can see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
That's amazing. You done a great job,
Yes,
Hannah.
you did.
We're proud of you. Very proud of you. That's an awesome thing right there. Youth deal is something that we always need to keep in mind, and how important bringing our youth up in the catfishing environment is, because we're not, all of us old guys are going to be gone one of these days, and we need people like Hannah and Noah and so many of them kids that was at that event. Spencer is another one, to take our place and step up when we're gone, to take over and run the sport like it should be done.
Yes, build that love early.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Doc, have you got anything else for tonight?
No, I'm doing pretty good. I'm been able to hang right here on the show tonight, so
that's awesome. I know you had a little trouble getting in. I hate that, but like I told Dave, from where I'm at, there ain't much I can do.
No,
I'll give you all the links that I had. I'm glad that you made it in the show, and I know everybody's happy to see you. And Melinda, kudos again to you and Ann for doing a great job on the tournament. I want to thank Glenn from Rig Wrap for being in the show with us tonight and giving away his
I did forget Rig Wrap as our sponsor too.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry, Glenn.
Team Rig Wrap, yeah, that's right.
Oh, speaking of that, what did you ask in chat, Nikki?
I wondered what Glenn was going to send to Team 11.
There you go. Think about that, Glenn, and let us know.
Think about it.
But yeah, the tournament.
And we don't want bananas.
No bananas.
No bananas. I think Paula Smith's about ready to slice and dice old Dustin for putting that banana on her rod holder. But it was all in fun at the motel, and everybody had a great time down there. It's just it's what you're supposed to do when you go to an
That's
event
right.
like this. Wonderful showing by
Act like
Yeah.
adults.
act like adults and do really great. It was awesome. And cinnamon rolls, how about that? Heck yeah. But
I'm looking forward to the tournament next year. Hopefully I won't be sick and I can be at it. I know I will pay for another entry fee in honor of Lynn again next year. So
oh wow.
We
Oh,
thank
Oh,
you
okay.
so much for that. Like I said,
That was awesome.
That was awesome that you did that. And we're grateful that we was the ones that won it.
It meant
Appreciate
a lot
it.
to us.
and I love the shirts. My
Oh.
kids said, "Oh, look at those shirts. They really like the shirts."
We did too. I thought they looked awesome.
In case anybody didn't see them. And then
They
the
can't see
bottom,
'em on
I'm
the
too
video.
short.
Too short.
I'm too short. Remember that? I'm too short even for the camera.
We would have wore ours, but ours still had catfish slime on them.
Yeah, ours is in the washer.
That's the first thing I'd done
You
when I
guys
got
just
home.
got home this afternoon, though,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess about 1:45, 2 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm kind of glad that it's over, but there's a whole lot of men and women that look forward to this event, and I, for one, was not disappointed. I can say, we go to these big tournaments like Mississippi River Monsters, some of the Cabela's tournaments, Monsters on the Ohio,
Winter
Winter
blues.
Blues. We're going to be going to the tournaments down in Texas for the Possum Kingdom. And in
Oh
Texas.
yeah.
And all these big tournaments we go to, and we go down there and give our all. And to see the women get on the boats by themselves and give as much or more than what a lot of the guys do, it was very exhilarating. I was very pleased and thrilled to see what these ladies could do. No, sir, Matthew, she's not smelling like skipjack.
No, I don't. Oh,
But-
I had to take my clothes and change.
I will tell you that there was a hint of skipjack perfume when she come out of the boat.
I'm sure a pretty big hint.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, her fish smacked me in the rear end. It was when we got out in the boat, it was so mad. I was standing there as short as I am. Its tail come up and bam, smacked me on the rear end. I thought, that just whipped me. We had fun, did we not, ladies?
You know,
We had a lot of fun.
it was great that you guys won it. I would have had fun, like I say, regardless of who won it, but I'm glad that you did. And I got a feeling if you all fish together next year, you'll have to step it up because these girls are going to be gunning for you.
You know, that might have
Oh,
been.
there's no doubt.
Yeah, that might have been Lynn's way of saying, hey, I helped you there.
Give you
There you go.
Yeah, this one's from me.
That could have
Well,
been.
It could have
Well,
been.
I felt like we was going to do good because we all prayed before we left and we put it in the hands of Jesus and we knew that he was going to take care of it. And he did.
He did. He waited till the last minute on that last one, but he made
Yes,
it
he
happen.
did.
There you go.
He did. Yes, he
It may
did.
not come in your own time, but it sure came.
That's exactly
That's
right.
all. And we even threw rods back out that last, 5 minutes?
Right.
Randy Brooks says she's coming for you girls next year.
Come on, girl.
Step it up. Come on, baby.
That's it.
That's right.
And I look forward to this kind of stuff happening throughout the year, which will make it fun for us.
Yeah. He's drinking.
We figured that Brandy and them would have several big ones, honestly.
Yeah.
And
Really
I also
needed,
figured
so.
Teresa Owensby. I just told Lyle, I said, man, I know, she's going to be tough. She always is here.
Candace says she slimed both of her girls on her way in after the pictures. I wish I could have had that on video. Yeah, me too.
Man. Ladies, send your stories on Catfish Weekly public page in your videos so that everybody else can see this.
We would be thrilled if you'd done that so everyone can see it. We have a pretty big venue for people to look at videos and stuff, and we'd be proud to have any of your stories or your videos and put them on the public page. It would be awesome for to share them with the rest of the fishing world. I know a lot of guys and gals both would like to see this, and I think that it's really come up to a big event. I look forward to it to be a lot bigger next year. So
I'm sure it will.
and
Mhm.
Melinda needs a lot of them videos and stuff if you have them also, so don't forget to send them to her. In the meantime, thank you ladies so much for being on Catfish Weekly tonight. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You guys are an awesome team, and we really are proud of what you guys accomplished over the weekend.
Thank you.
Anything else, Doc?
Who's on next week? Live?
Nope. Who we got next week?
You got your stuff in my
Possible
way.
guys.
We got a blank next week. I'll figure somebody out, or we'll do a show with just me and Doc and Cindy.
Okay.
I got a good
Sounds
one
good.
coming on the 22nd, though. You're going to want to make sure you're tuned in for that, but I'm going to wait till next week to tell you about it. We finalized it today. It's going to be something that everybody wants to know about. Yep, you're going to want to know about this one. So be sure to tune in for the 22nd. But we'll have another great show. We'll give away some great prizes and have a lot of fun next week. Thanks everybody for watching Catfish Weekly and enjoying the Chick Fight special show.
Say that again 3 times.
Nope, I ain't doing it. See you next Monday night.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right.